Scarlet Lady was my first trip with Virgin Voyages, and there was a lot that I loved. My word, there was a lot that I hated. 10 of the best bits, and 10 of the worst. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we go. I love the food. The marketing, twee language and sycophants had got my back up long before I boarded. I was fully prepared to tear apart the best food at sea claims, slam the no main dining room arrangement, and point out that the galley is in fact just a buffet. But I can't. The restaurants are all included and they really are good. Even Test Kitchen, which won't fill you up, but it will pass an hour or so pretty enjoyably before you go and grab a pizza. Extra Virgin is probably my least favourite, and even that's a solid 7 out of 10. The galley is a decent food court with a fantastic variety on offer. The pizza place is good if you avoid the anchovies. Ice cream, skanky hot dogs and chicken wings on tap, and sweets and cakes whenever you want them. Everyone gets fat on a cruise ship. On Scarlet Lady, you'll get documentary fat. I hate the twee Malmaison style language and renaming things just for the sake of it. Roundabout? No, it's an atrium. Sea terrace? Nah, Richard, that's a balcony. Rock stars? Oh, I can't even. Ahoy, sailor? Ah, shut up. I love the theatre. Now, Virgin don't want you to call the theatre a theatre, but the thing is, it's a theatre. And a Swiss Army theatre at that. Traditional old school show? There's a setting for that. Cirque du Soleil rip-off? There's a setting for that. Gig / disco / performance art? There's a setting for that too. I hate the boxing area. I was really looking forward to using the boxing setup, and it's a good job I took my gloves because it looks like Virgin are expecting people to scrap bare knuckle. I was actually surprised to find that there weren't that many people that I wanted to punch on board anyway. But I was almost in tears when I hit the bag and it almost flew into space because it weighed less than a hard stare. Some proper punch bags would be a good addition to a cruise ship's fitness offering, but what Virgin have done is just a waste of space. I love the sports court. Lots of ships have them and they're often half-hearted, unloved and unused. This one's a bit of a weird shape and it looks a bit ghetto. But there was plenty of equipment and whenever I wandered up there I was always able to get a game of something with someone. I hate the endless queues. I don't know if it's bad ship design or just dreadful organisation, but there are queues everywhere. Through corridors and stairwells, in and out of every restaurant, the queues to the two main entertainment venues, the Red Room and the Manor, overlap in the casino. And anytime you want to go anywhere, book anything or do anything, well, join the queue. I love Jessica, the Peruvian waitress. She made a fuss of me in pink agave, chose a spectacular selection of food for me, well, enough for me and at least one other person really, and brought me an endless supply of galley macarons whilst I tapped away at my laptop and drank coffee. And as we all know, gifted calories don't make you fat. When I say Jessica, really, I mean all the crew. They were really good and they seemed to really enjoy working for Virgin. I hate Portsmouth. Well, embarking a ship at the Portsmouth cruise terminal. It's not big enough for the job. It's slow and takes forever to get through. And as I said in my Scarlet Lady review, it should be renamed Terminal Illness. I love that Virgin Voyages book proper comedians. Most cruise lines will tell you that they've got comedians on board, but when I say a comedian, I mean someone who performs at proper comedy clubs and has material that's younger than me. When most cruise lines say comedian, they mean middle-of-the-road social club entertainers peddling out the same old hack material that they've been using since the 1980s. I hate the endless fluffing notifications. Virgin Voyages make a big deal of not bothering people with tannoy announcements. Which lunatic decided that having everyone on board's phone ping or vibrate every 30 seconds is better? Ping! Special offer in the spa. Ping! Clocks are going forward. Ping! Clocks are going back. Ping, 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 ping. I love that there are no kids on board. Now, I don't mind kids. I actually used to go to school with some. But for every normal, proper family enjoying a holiday together, there's a Dazza and Shazza getting smashed somewhere while Dazzette and Shazette run riot. It used to be very easy to deal with this, but now that there are cameras literally everywhere, you can't just uppercut them into the sea and right-hand Dazza for being a bad parent. I hate that Scarlet Lady handles pretty small and insignificant ocean swell about as well as a Lilo. I don't suffer with seasickness at all, though I would have preferred the ship to do a proper rough sea shake than roll endlessly like a waterbed after a buffet enthusiast jumps on. But not everyone is as lucky, and they insisted on telling me a lot. FYI, do not jump on a Virgin Voyages bed. They are the worst beds at sea, and even laying on them gently is to risk serious injury. I love the great value for money. So far, Scarlet Lady has been the cheapest cost per night of any ship this year. That includes Queen Victoria, Arcadia, and QM2. P&O is supposedly mainstream, but in reality it's now value-based. Cunard is supposedly premium, but in reality it is mainstream flirting with budget. And Premium Virgin was cheaper than them both. I hate the dreadful value for money. My own stupidity meant I needed to buy a travel adapter on board. It was $60. 60 fluffing dollars. The shops generally are poor value, and the spa was so wildly overpriced that I think they were closed and just decided to put out a comedy price list to dissuade bookings rather than admit it was closed. And don't even get me started on the $350 private bus stops. I love the room controller. The Wii tablet controls all the lights, the ferocious aircon, and the TV with loads of video on demand. Mine was on its last legs and didn't really work because the battery only lasted for about 10 minutes. But by golly, what a great 10 minutes. I hate the Prom Deck. It is a full wraparound prom deck, in theory, but the endless windbreaks, room dividers, and impossibly uncomfortable seating scattered everywhere makes it useless as far as knocking out anti-buffet laps. And that squeaky wood effect plastic floor, ugh, it really got on my teak. I love the Manor. Weird, because it's basically a load of stuff that I hate all crammed together. It's the onboard nightclub. I don't drink, I don't dance, I don't have any friends. So you can imagine how I feel about nightclubs. It was used a lot as a cabaret venue on my trip, and it did a sterling job. I also can't stand the way that literally everyone on board takes a video of the Insta-style entrance. It's got to the point that every cruise tuber ever puts it in their videos. I was actually thinking that whilst I was filming it myself for this video. I hate the layout of the ship. With very few exceptions, public areas are just one big corridor that you can sit in. On incredibly stylish but incredibly uncomfortable seating, while the rest of the guests stand right in front of you whilst they're queuing for something or other. I love the loose cannon. The bar is never open, the lights all work, and it's a proper room, not a bit of corridor with a name. And there are chairs made for actual human mans. I hate Scarlet Night. I hate what it is sold as, the wild, ship-wide Moulin Rouge style party. And it really does look like that on every other cruise ship I've seen too. And I hate what it was actually on my cruise. Exactly the same as any other night, with some red light bulbs, some red clothing, and a few inflatables dotted around. Watching fully grown adults pretending that something exciting was happening made me feel sad. No, not sad. Disgusted. I think it's safe to say that Scarlet Lady isn't my favourite ship. I'm getting older, so I prefer a ship that doesn't have more unicorns on board than comfortable seats. But it's certainly not all bad, and the food alone is enough to make me keep my booking for next year's Comedy Fest on Valiant Lady. 10 things I loved and 10 things I hated about Scarlet Lady. Done.